Conjure me an army worthy of Mordor. Or my straps don't get all fucked up with my tits. They clash, I know. I'm Commando Barbie. It's Halloween, bitches! Like, half of this is being ready to be Commando Barbie for Halloween, and half of this is being ready to fucking fight the Chinese when they invade wherever they're gonna invade. Like, that's a whole complicated story, right? It's both. Wolverines. I don't remember what all I was going to talk about in this. Probably something to do with all the videos I was just making. Fucking, like, there you go. Believe it or not, this all sits right when I stand up. It's meant to hang. It doesn't hang here because, like, I have a little bit of a belly and it's resting on my belly. And yeah, that's just the nature of losing weight. I think I'll always have a little bit of a belly. Like, I keep working at it. Eating conies today probably didn't help, but it was really good. So I behaved myself at the barbecue place last night. I only had like some smoked meats and salad. You know, smoked meats and salads, boys. How are you doing? Whoever you are. Yes, good sir. If you ask questions, the wizard will answer. We lost him. That's what happens when you run like the nerdiest nerd table ever. This is like the gay kids that were getting picked on that all went and hung out under the bleachers and started smoking weed and talking shit. Probably some other stuff going down, but you know, that's between consenting people. Consenting adults now. Like in high school, between high schoolers, I think that's probably acceptable. This whole like grooming fucking kids to get fucked by adults thing is so fucking bullshit. Like, this is why we exist, in my opinion. You're looking at the anti-groomer fucking militia. Like, it's coming to that. Right now, this is a TV show, and this is Halloween. And, like, this is scary to some people. To me, this is every day. You know, this is, you know, I like the Space Marine vibe. I kind of dig it. I really want to get Blazer and get him decked out in matching kit and get similar looking ish weapons and have my minivan and deck it out as a like shuttlecraft escape pod thing and literally make like a Bugs movie. Like he and I crash land on a planet. It's dark. All the bugs you ever see is like some jackass we have that's a friend that like has a broomstick with a thing attached to it and it's like so like it can be made for almost nothing. Honestly, I have a shitload of props for it. Blazer has my old helmet that it's a gray version of this, and it would look dope. We deck it out similarly. Ow, man, this ear infection thing sucks. I'm still like I'm squeezing fucking like pus out of whatever the fuck that is. I think I need to go see the doctor, because like I had a video conference thing, and yeah, I think I need more than that. Hey, we got another viewer. Talking about a Space Marine movie that I want to make with Blazer. I think it'd be really cool to take the fucking minivan that I've camouflaged or whatever and make it look more like a fucking spaceship. Like keep bolting shit to it, make it look weird, like nothing else, and then like make a really low budget 2 hour-ish, hour and a half-ish long sci-fi movie that like we show the true heart of darkness of Blazer in his savage quest to end the bugs on Planet P. And then like at the end of the movie, like both of us is all like disembodied and fucking has a thing shoved through and like and then the other one has to walk back to the ship. Be an epic ending. Like it would be like those movies that the Ugandans make where it's like helicopters. I mean, all he would need is a Chinese chest rig because he's already got the fucking helmet. He's already got my old helmet. I sold him. What else would he need? He has my other gun, but he's gonna fucking sell it, bitch. If you want a good gun, Blazer is selling one of my carbon fiber hand guarded masterpieces that I painted. He should put that on Gunbroker and let me advertise it. That's a good idea. I'm gonna tell him that. You there, good sir. I think that rifle that you have that I painted, you should put on Gunbroker and auction it off and let me advertise it, and then we'll split it somehow. It'll be like a fundraiser for, like, I don't know, space marine awareness. Be cool to get like 10% or something. I bet there's people out there that would like to have the rifle that I built with basically unlimited money trying to make the perfect AR-15 along with the What Would Stoner Do rifles. Like it has a carbon fiber handguard, it has Knight's Armament sights on it, BCM barrel. Like it's a it's kind of a mix master of a gun, but it's badass. It has a Spikes what they call it, Spikes Joker lower. It's the Pipe Hitters Union Joker. Um, LWRC ultra compact stock. You know, it's a pretty decent fucking gun. It's a 14 and a half inch barrel, and then the muzzle device is a Surefire three prong flash hider with a warden on it, and it's been permanently brazed on there. What you want to call it? It's the high temperature silver solder. So like if you trust that with the ATF, it's good. If you don't, it's not. It's one of those that if you piss off an ATF agent, they might try to charge you for that shit. Just don't piss off an ATF agent, would be my recommendation. It's on there fucking per the law. It really is one that like it doesn't need to be repinned and welded and shit. We need to have clarification from the federal government on what needs to happen to make it permanent. Like the safe bet is to pin and weld it. At the time that gun was done, we didn't have the pin and weld shit, and I had fucking the solder to do it with, and I soldered the fuck out of it. I heated the fuck out of it, and that fucker's on there. I doubt very much the ATF could get it off. However, that's a legit concern. It's something that if you bought that gun, you could fix by having a gunsmith drill a little hole in the bottom of the flash hider in the threads, put a pin in it, and then weld over it. That's all it needs. Pinned and welded. That costs like $70, something like that to have done. I would do that at this point. But the rest of that gun is dope. It's super lightweight, super compact. It's one of the best rifles I ever built. I can't believe he's selling it. He also had the other best rifle I ever built, which also had a Troy Industries carbon fiber handguard on it. And he sold that bitch too. It was the one with the Mandalorian paint job. I like building up custom ARs. I don't really like keeping them because like I like building them. So like once you're done building it and painting it and then go shoot it, sight it in, live with it for a year, like man, I want to build another rifle. Like I have the sickness. It's a sickness. Like, you'll talk to any of those guys I used to hang out with, they'd recognize the fucking sickness. It's the weed. A cop I know said that he can't believe how much weight I've lost. I look so much younger. You said high temp silver solder. Sure, it wasn't actual. I'm not sure. It was the shit that my boss handed me that said was the legal shit. It was 1400-degree silver solder. Sounds right. Something like that. Maybe 1700-degree silver solder. Shit. I'll have to fix that. This is the joy of having a duct tape constructed rig. Is after several years, you really should replace the duct tape. Like, I occasionally lose a strap. I need to get a sewing machine that would sew through duct tape and canvas and just go chug 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 in like an X over all the fucking straps. Like a leather stitching machine would probably do it. Make sure them bitches never come apart again. Probably because I'm like sitting here leaning on it. I made a video in my front yard earlier looking all like cute in front of the American flag and smoking weed. And I was doing my best Blair White impersonation. I can be cute and bubbly. I don't usually with you guys because, like, mostly what we talk about here is guns and politics. And who wants to be cute and bubbly while you talk guns and politics? So I'm Commando Barbie. Fear me. I think that eventually that people will dig this. Anonymous. That's methed up like your guns. Like methed up? Is that what you mean? I actually have never smoked the meth. Huh. I just smeared paste onto a barrel and screwed it on, man. I really didn't want to fucking do it at all. I kind of think that you should just be able to have a 14 5-inch barrel. Like, if you wanted to say, hey, you shouldn't be able to have a PDW because, like, of the risk of this and terrorism, whatever, I can almost see their logic on that, but I can't see how that applies to a fucking carbine that's 14 and a half inches. Like, this is, I don't like any gun laws, Second Amendment, yada, yada, yada. Let's attack their logic because their logic doesn't even make sense. And I try not to do this online because I'd hate to give them logical gun arguments. But, yeah, I think it was 1400 degree. That's what is stuck in my mind. It was high temp silver solder, and per ATF specs at the time and now, I believe it's 1400 degrees or higher that it has to be. But like proving that after the fact is whatever. And the ATF tends to come in with like a 3-foot cheater bar and try to take your muzzle device off. And they weren't doing that when I made that gun. So you might want to address that. What else? Meffed up. Thank you for liking my guns. I've never used silver solder to attach guards to knife blades. The only guards I did with JB Weld, and then I came to the conclusion that I was not going to make things with guards anymore because it's just old fashioned. I have a knife with a guard. I'm gonna get the Geisley bayonet lug for the Space Marine rifle. My Loki blaster already has a bayonet lug on it, so it fits on there. I might buy a second bayonet just to have around because this one is like it's wired into this rig. I don't know how many more fucking Ugly Whales Presents videos I'm gonna do, but they really make me laugh. So if you have ideas, hit me up. The Joe Exotic one was just obvious. I already even had the costume. I even have a costume for the next one, which is gonna be Ugly Whales Presents. Fuck that bitch, Carol Baskins. I'm gonna have the like cheetah print shirt on and find some cat print pants and like have a bloody knife. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna make advertisements for porn that doesn't exist. Sad part is there are men that would want to see it. That's the part that really like it's disturbing to me, to be honest. That like to the level at which there are men that like hunt for fucking videos of people like me to jerk off to. It's almost creepy. I like it, but it's almost creepy. I don't get the obsession with fucking geese, man. Geese are mean. Anonymous is like these goslings are so friendly, it's ridiculous. Geese exist to like shit on golf courses and chase my cat. I wonder if I can just take this rig off. I should have had it on for the fucking video outside. I didn't want to freak the neighbors out anymore. I had some people drive by while I was, you know, smoking on my front porch, wearing a tiger stripe t-shirt, and I got looks. Damn. I got my fucking helmet caught in the fucking bayonet. Geese are not friendly, man. Ah, ah, ah. Geese are assholes, see? The hope is they'll deter the fox. They'll do that. Especially if you have full grown geese and mixed in with your chickens. Like, geese don't fuck around. Kind of makes life tough for you, too, but like, have you thought about hiring a wayward transgender samurai in a camouflaged minivan to just shoot the foxes at night? There's going to be a bunch of us soon. I'm summoning to me an army worthy of Mordor. It's coming up through South America. Anonymous knows. Funny part is, people can't tell if I'm joking about that shit or not. And that's the point. If you don't know, maybe it's not. I do really want to teach transgender women how to shoot better. I want to make a show for Blair White. That's what I'm getting ready to do. Like, you want to learn about guns? We'll start with we'll start with how not to shoot like I love foxes, but I also think that they kill things that I like to eat. So I might have to kill foxes someday. It's one of those like in the movie The Wind and the Lion. There's a whole speech between Teddy Roosevelt and his daughter about the Raizuli, the pirate that they're hunting in Morocco. And it's like, what do you mean you like the Raizuli, father? Well, of course I do. He's a pirate. Why wouldn't you like a pirate? There's nothing not to like. But, sometimes, I don't remember what his metaphor was, but it was a fox raids the chicken house, and that's when you got to put a pirate down. Basically, that's the gist of that whole exchange. It's a long conversation. Welcome to John Milius. Hmm. You have dogs? You could put out fucking traps and shit too. If you bait traps, foxes will go for the traps. The stuff that I would use to bait it is smoked salmon. That smoked salmon that I buy at Target, this Honey Smoked Fish Company. Eat the fish off it and just take the skin and put it in whatever your trap is. It will fucking attract all sorts of shit. Like, don't do that if you have outdoor dogs and cats though, because you'll get them too. But it'll get possums, skunks, fucking anything else. That like smoked old dead fish smell brings things a running. I don't have early warning systems other than cats. I'm gonna have a whole bunch of cats eventually. It's gonna be me and church in our little like terrarium, surrounded by cats, as far as the eye can see. No, I still haven't seen that, man. What you told me about the island before? Isn't that the one where like they're all people that are like fake people and like they were cloned and they're being grown for rich people and they're gonna take their organs and kill them? Or am I thinking of something else? I love the M7 bayonet. I always liked the M3 trench knife, and the M7 bayonet is an M3 trench knife that you can stick on guns, and it's the last iteration of it and the best, really. This attachment method is superior. I really do like the M9 and the new Marine Corps bayonet too, but like I think both of those are kind of like we're going to be in a large force. We're almost never going to use bayonets, but we still want to have one. So they're perfect for that. This is more like we're in the zombie apocalypse. We might be sticking people. Like, door cat. Mm, that sucks. Mm. Have you thought about adopting him? You could just keep feeding him. If you feed him a bunch of shit, he'll stop eating your chickens. I know that's a crazy idea, but like he's hungry. That's why he's taking your shit. If you're not gonna kill him, like your only other option is to either let him have your chickens or to feed him or catch him. Like you said, he's too big for a live trap. I really like the Joe Exotic vibes of everything. Because, like, honestly, when I saw that dude, he and I are like shady versions of each other. I'm the house cat version of Joe Exotic. I think in the end of the world, I'm gonna need me some tigers, though. I understand why he had tigers now. Wow, I need to see that. Okay, thanks, Jay Watt. I'm gonna I'll look that up. He said it's about an anthropologist that discovers the descendants of pirates that are still pirates raiding fishing boats, ships. Can deal with asshole birds. My rooster's a dick. Been trying to shoot him all summer. Between the sunglasses and being a little baked and something about the lights in here with the sunglasses, I can't hardly read your shit. The Island, that's what I was looking up. Island 1980. Sorry, I got distracted by Instagram for a minute. That's easy to do. That looks crazy. Watch it on YouTube for $4, it says. Wonder if it's streaming somewhere for free. In related movies, it has Jaws, which is good, and The Deep. If you've never seen The Deep, it if I remember that movie correctly, let me look it up. Make sure it is the one I think it is. Yes. So a diving couple, like scuba diving couple, finds a shipwreck from World War II that is full of glass ampules of morphine. And it's not like one or two of them, it's like the entire supply for the European theater for most of the war that got sunk. It's billions, oh, billions of dollars worth of heroin sitting down there. It's a cool movie. They end up salvaging it and shit with somebody and criminals, and it goes wrong. And for the 1980 version, did a remake in 2005. I thought that movie was about stealing people's organs. Maybe I'm like mixing up my movies. Should I do content just for Patreon, or should I leave it kind of like it is, where like they get the occasional thing and it's kind of like a tip jar and everything's just here? I keep going back and forth on like putting some shit behind a paywall kind of a thing on Patreon or not. I kind of like everybody to be able to see everything. I don't know. You guys are my fans. Guide the show. If I did a thing on there, it would be like $1 or more gets you the whole thing probably, and like there'd be levels. But the only like difference on the levels would be how much I kissed your ass, basically. you know, why not call it what it is? Dance, tranny, dance. Somehow I think that I'm not going to win any friends, any friends of the trans community uh, saying the word tranny, but like that's how I feel. I kind of feel like it's one of those like, oh, you said the forbidden word, and it's one of those, I don't like being called that, but at the same time, how are people supposed to know not to have conversations and shit around you? Like I'm trying to have a conversation of here about America that is on all sides of it as I see it. That's what I think too. Like I'd like to build up to something, And my thing is, I think I'm just starting to get to where the show's better. Like, there's been a lot of like floundering in the dark to get to here. I want to have something there for the people that tip though, but like I don't want to take away from this. I could do some of these are legitimate like behind the scenes things. Like I had a whole fucking podcast that I just scrapped the other day, and I went ahead and posted it because like parts of it are cool. Oh, he's talking about the See Night Prowler. That's me. When it comes to any of this, I only do Patreon for one person now, and I'm not going to say who that is. I'll leave you up, leave that to guess. But I never did it before because I flat out didn't have the money, and I don't think you should have to spend your money on me either. But like, if you have the extra $5, thanks. Like that's kind of what it is. I'm gonna be trying to put out more stuff that people actually like to watch and like entertaining stuff and infotainment. That's what I'd like this to eventually morph into. I think the Space Marines movie I want to do is going to be fun. I figured out basically the most cheap ass, lowest budget movie that I can shoot with fucking Blazer. We're doing this shit. I'm going to steal his ass. Like, put him in a tiger stripe t shirt and some black pants and his helmet and go buy him a Chinese chest rig and just like go out in the woods and scream and run for a while and write some bullshit dialogue that sounds like it's out of Predator. Like, yeah, that's going to be great. Like, it's one of those. It might be one of the worst movies ever made, or it could be brilliant. Either way, it ought to be interesting and fun to watch. I'm pretty clever, and pretty sure I still got the phone number of a dude that has like one of the coolest collections of dummy guns in Missouri. I haven't talked to him in a long time, so he may have gotten out of it. He was kind of bitter about life last time I spoke to him because he'd gotten a divorce and he's a postman. I miss that dude though. That was the guy that ran the Vietnam reenacting shit in college that I did. That was like a bunch of idiots running around in the Missouri woods pretending to be fucking some long range patrol. They're fun to hang out with though. They liked me because I came with a Browning automatic rifle and just a pile of other guns that were cool. Like at that time, my collection was all U.S. military from like World War One to present and oppositional forces. So mostly Russian shit, but some countries of the world shit that was just cool. I don't know. I think having some stuff behind a paywall for $1 to support the show makes sense at a certain point. I don't know at what point that is. I think you have to actually be making shows that people want to watch. That's why I'm like trying to have my camera on and shit because apparently nobody digs the radio format. Everybody wants to see people. Fine, you get to see me. That's how I feel. Like I've kind of been trying to get cute slash other shit. Like I wanted to be at a point where I was comfortable in front of a camera. I think that's understandable. I had a 4956, the Moss 4956. The MAP 49 is the submachine gun. I never had one of those because basically there's no semis. I only had one fully automatic gun the whole time I was ever wheeling and dealing, and I made a bunch of money on that. Really enjoyed it. I got the taste for it, and then lost the job that had the access to the FFL to do that. So, unanimous. You are. Nobody else is. I like the radio format because I can focus more on the intellectual content of it instead of like this part of it. But I guess I can just fucking like kick back, relax, and talk to you too. But I did have a Swedish K type thing. It was a Smith and Wesson 76 clone made by someone in Arizona whose name escapes me. They're a shitty company. It had a really long ass barrel in it, but the cool part about it is you could take that barrel out and twist the barrel shroud back on. And because the barrel shroud had just some holes in it, you almost couldn't tell it didn't have a barrel in it. And we actually used that for the Vietnam reenacting shit. The guy that I was talking about calling carried that around as like a fucking squad commander thing. He thought that was so dope. When I showed up there and I threw that at him, he was like, "Holy fucking shit! It's a Swedish K." I'm like, "Sort of. It's close. It's really, really close." So he like just carried that around. It was like his baby. That was so crazy. Looking back on it, I had a gun collection back then that would rival millionaires. And that was mostly because the dedication to the sword. Like, I was in college, I was eating ramen noodle, and every fucking dollar that I got from anything went to buying more guns that I found at good deals, could play with and improve and whatever. Like, I bought a Winchester 1897 at a garage sale for $100 and cleaned it up and turned it into a trench gun and ended up selling that for 1,000. And back then, like, I would occasionally hit a lick like that. And by not losing money ever and occasionally hitting a lick, you can build up a hell of a collection. That's why, honestly, if I could give advice to anyone who wants to like buy guns, just have a big pocket full of money at a gun show and go walking around and see what you find. You never know what you're going to find. Have wide ranging interests. That's what my grandfather taught me basically was like, yeah, yeah, it's cool to want a gun or whatever, and but also, what gun can you get cheap that's cool? That's one of the best gifts I think he ever gave me. And that's one thing I would like to communicate here to anyone that watches this is go to a gun show, look around and buy a gun. Like I've gone to gun shows here in Oklahoma dressed like this ever since I came out a couple of years ago now. And after doing that for like a couple of years, one of my friends that I knew from the knife making world was in a wheelchair. It's like, what's up with that? And he's the only person to ever even mention this the whole time. And we had a conversation about it, and it was nice. And he laughed. He laughed even harder about me, like running around Tulsa all during COVID with a 19-year-old girlfriend tripping balls. She was cute. Dakota, I put up a bunch of videos of her shooting if you want to see what she looks like. I I hope someday she wants to talk to me again. I fucked it up. I went crazy. Like, don't fuck it up. It's my advice to you. Oh, available on display. Yeah, exactly, Jay Watt. It's very good networking. And this is like the thing that like the gay trans community and really the modern community needs to get. is they need to start going to gun shows again. They need to start networking and trading and buying stuff because, like, even Infernus the other day. I don't have the rifle in here, but I bought an Enforce light off of Infernus. It was $60 instead of $150. Saved me a lot of money, and he has extra gas money, and like it worked out both ways. And he was happy to get the 60 for it. And I honestly, I would have given him more for it. He's just a generous person, I guess. Back in the late '80s, I used to do the gun shows, buy something cool, keep it 3 to 6 months, trade it for something else cool. Exactly. That's exactly what I just got done doing, basically. I'm kind of tired of doing that. I want to have some keepers and some stuff that I actually like. I've always just I've bought stuff, I've played with it, I've shot it, I've enjoyed it, tried to learn something from it and moved on. Kept some things longer than others. Like I've had guns that I owned for 20 years, but at the same time, you don't have to be that way with everything. And all of like the old dudes at gun shows, uh, they're wealths of information usually about various topics. The way that some of you are with guns now, they have been their entire life and they've been hanging out at those gun shows and like fucking with guns and talking to each other. They might be worth exploring while they're still alive. One of my favorite people on earth is a college professor who does gun shows out at the Tulsa fairgrounds. He's a history professor at, I think, TU, maybe TCC now, but used to be TU, something like that. And he sells old historic guns and did for forever with no FFL. Like, there was his personal collection, and it was massive. And he did that for better part of 70 years. Now he has an FFL sitting there with him to do transfers, and he's still doing it. That was the compromise the ATF came to with him. This is in a nutshell why we should fucking emulate these motherfuckers. He literally he didn't bend them to his will, but they came to a compromise. You know how fucking not righteous that is? I think part of it is he was a fucking college professor, and if you go to court against a college professor, there's a pretty good chance the judge is going to look at you with a skeptical eye, especially when it's about guns. And like this is the thing is they don't want to go to court and have the college professor and the college professor's lawyer buddy, who's the law professor, going at this like it's a Second Amendment case, which is just exactly what he threatened them with. So you need to have a little bit of money and you need to have a lawyer, or just be verbose enough to speak to your own defense. I've never hired a lawyer. Let that sink in. Like I said, judges like me. I usually just say exactly what happened and exactly what I did and why. That usually cuts me a lot of slack with a judge because everything I ever do in my whole life is by code. Sometimes that code includes getting fucked by random dudes because it's fun. Most of the time it's like, do no wrong and fucking spread no hate except for fuckers on the internet. I like fucking with people on the internet. It's my vice. Like, I'm gonna miss James Yeager. I did that video the other day. Yeah, I have. My favorite part is you should have your armor and have all your shit on your armor and then have it like a turret. I'm like, I don't remember whose video I was watching about that the other day, but this is one of those like most of you watching this are not physically fit enough to do anything with that turret on. And this is where like Jay Watt's talking about the Alice gear. Like that's a belt with pouches on it and suspenders. It's kind of proven, and it a lot more people can do a lot with it. I like chest rigs because I kind of modify them to like sit under my tits, and I'm kind of wearing it like an Alice belt. But like I don't know, I do my own shit because I like to. And like if you look at my chest rig, it's pretty fucking lightweight. Like it's 5 AR mags and tools, and it's minimal lightweight tools. Like talk about that. I was wearing it earlier. So the mags are loaded with XM193. That's what I like. Usually I should probably start getting green tip. So this pouch is medical mostly, but it also has a spark light in it. This is the spark light. It's a Air Force survival fire starter. Yeah. It's really lightweight. It's like the wheel off a Bic lighter. And all those little things, you just pull one out and spread it apart and spark into it. It's one of those, like, I don't know that I'd ever need that, but it's lightweight and small, and it's crammed in with my medical gear. Ow. And this pouch is hard to fucking close. Thank you, China. What's up, China? This is why basically you should spend more money on your gear. I basically don't figure I'll probably ever get to use medical equipment. Really don't care. And it comes out faster than it gets put away. This is a compass. I need to get a fucking USGI one, but this is just some Coleman piece of shit. I have a wrist compass, too. There's also Ranger beads. And then this is a Juice CS4. It's my kind of retired pocket tool. Pussy wagon keychain, because you need that shit. It's just on there from taking a picture the other night. This is a ditty bag from World War II. It's a remake of it from At the Front. You can get these for like 10 or 15 bucks. And it's hooked on. There's a dump pouch, and it has a, sun cap on it. Cat tourniquet. Pistol mags. I have an extra mag for the car and the 1911 in there because I don't really know which I'd have. I would set that up to be one or the other ideally, but like this is just kind of sitting in a bag right now. This thing is a Streamlight. And then you have gloves and Commando Barbie's fucking face paint and lipstick. Because why wouldn't you need lipstick? Basically, I have lipstick in there for war paint. And half of that is you don't know who you're going to be fighting. If you're fighting anyone from Europe, I'm going to be wearing war paint and I'm going to be fucking singing old songs because I'm going to make them crap themselves. I have water. It's a thing over there. Like my thing is, I want to be able to ditch all of that shit except for like the hydration bladder that can go with this. It's a backpack. It's in a thing over there, and then I have a hydration straw canteen thing that bolts to a bag. I think that's the thing is you don't see water with this because it's so important it gets its own system. It's a Golden Tiger one, I think. They sell them on eBay, I believe. It does not say. It's a size 7. No, sorry, 7 3/4. So it says US 7 3/4. It's a reproduction one of the Vietnam era caps in John Wayne pattern. The pouch over here, this is also from at the front. This is a rigger pouch. They made these for M1 Garand clips in World War II. This compass pouch is just shit that you can buy on fucking eBay for next to nothing. I have a paracord loop on here. This originally was for hammer. You can do a lot of shit with a paracord loop. It's worth having. You hang shit off of it. Like, probably even put this in there. Like, yeah, I just put a pistol mag in that loop. You could do all sorts of things with it. The pistol I have to go on the rig is in this old Walther PP holster with an extra mag. And it's a car. It's cheap. It works. I like it, and it's small. This pocket over here is more medical shit. I don't think there's any survival gear in with it, though. There's a whole ventilated operator kit packed in this shit. Quick clot. Yeah, and then this is just a H&H bandage. So this side is basically set up to be like, you just got shot. These are probably the things you're looking for. Everything else is in there with the fire starter. And the tourniquet is even quicker access. There's a second tourniquet that is at the top of this too. And like, this is part of the things. I'm running you through this. I just know where all this shit is. I know that because I made it. I put it all together. I know where everything is on this from memory. Welcome to samurai armor. They make those brass. Oh, the sparker, yeah. In my Indiana Jones bag, other than Blazer's short round cap. Hope he watches this. Sorry, I have a fan on. It's made of a 50 cal. That's pretty dope. It's a real clipper too. It's made by Clipper. So it even has the weed roller that basically is a spark light. Ow. Can't forget Blazer's short round cap. It's my Indiana Jones cap on the wall behind me. It's our cosplay in the end of the world. I was always partial to the darker tiger stripe pattern as well as OD with black spray painted stripes. I like black with green spray painted stripes usually because I don't buy black spray paint that often. I buy green spray paint. Most of the shit I have is black. I think Ghost Rider came out really cool, and I dumped a whole can of black paint on that van before I did any camo. Like, I just went all over it with black, and you can see some gold peeking through still, but it makes it really, it helps that car. And it was high temperature barbecue grill paint shit, and I let it bake on in the sun and the heat. I think that shit's probably on there, at least for a while. That was my goal with it. This bitch sucks to put back in, but I love you guys, so we'll try that too. That mag was empty. All the rest of them are full. I don't remember doing that. You know, sometimes there's gunfights in cartel land that happen you don't remember, I guess. It's much more likely that I tucked that back into the rig over a year ago unloaded, and just didn't even fucking think about it. The rig's heavy enough you don't notice one empty mag. I don't really fuck with this that much, to be honest. Like, this honestly has sat in my bedroom on the samurai armor stand ever since I moved it in there, and I had the samurai armor stand out in my living room before, and like, you know, when you need your air conditioner fixed, it's an odd look. So now the only people that get to see my super cool ghetto samurai armor stand are Brent 301 because I tagged him in it. I've tagged him in a bunch of shit. We've gone back and forth about pirate shit. Anyway, or random fucking hookups, I guess. Because, like, I think it's hilarious to literally have a samurai armor stand with a fucking sword and a gun on it next to the chair for men to put their shoes back on. No more comments. Can't wait to get that bayonet mount. Like, I think a lot of people don't get why I like bayonets. Like, it's a zombie thing mostly. It makes sense. Like, it is because I hung out with my grandfather too much. And hanging out with my grandfather too much, the thing that you got out of everything was, okay, so what happens when it goes wrong? Okay, well, then what happens if it goes wrong? Okay, what happens when you run out of bullets? Like, that was his constant shit. So, like, a bayonet is like, first off, you get a knife to stab people with. That's cool. Second off, now it attaches to your gun. That's even cooler. And third, this weighs next to nothing and it's more effective than once it's bolted to the gun. It's one of the most effective close quarters weapons you can wield, pretty much, because it's like a spear. It's a short spear, but it's a spear. Yeah. Night prowlers driving. I think I have a lot of people that watch me that are truckers. But that's Matt too. There's a bunch of people that watch Matt that are truckers. I think it's one of those people. There are a bunch of people that are in trucks that are like um, Jack Burton and Big Trouble in Little China, free enough to do whatever he wants because he makes his own money, whatever. Or he may work for a company, but it's pretty footloose and fancy free as long as the load gets there and they get their money and he gets their money and he gets his money. Everything's cool. I think that's a lot of the trucking community from what I've seen. I don't know them that well other than from the chats and from other activities. I will say they are an interesting breed. I do not let people fuck me in trucks. First off, like, I don't know what's up with that shit in like the gay community. There's a bunch of gay truckers, I guess. Like, I just did that once for a joke, Jay Watt. Like, I did that at the start of COVID because I thought it was funny. The trash bag ghillie suit, you would like die really, really quick. Basically, it doesn't breathe. So between it not breathing affecting your ability to do everything and the fact that it's a little shiny and it makes noise, it's like it is a meme of a ghillie suit. But like at the same time, I was so worried about the COVID. Got to keep the COVID off you. I was making fun of people. All during COVID, while people were in their trash bag ghillie suits looking at each other like they might have the coof, I was fucking all over Tulsa. Now, I didn't do much else during COVID. Like, I'd go make some money occasionally and I'd go fuck around or whatever. But, like, I tried not to go anywhere because, like, I was more worried about catching COVID from crowds and shit than I was about fucking people. I know that doesn't make sense to most people, but, like, I kind of wanted to get COVID. I didn't want to get it in a hurry. Tractor supply to pick up stuff for the lawnmower. Okay. I think it's funny one of these is empty. Almost makes me wonder. Occasionally I have shit go missing and I'm like, either I did something with it and have now completely forgotten what that was, which is entirely possible, especially with something like the ammo from that magazine. Or we have gremlins. Could go either way. There for a while, my gremlin was Dakota. She never took anything of mine that I didn't want her to have. So I gave her so much shit. Like, in reality, I asked her to marry me. So, like, I tried to give her everything. Like, please take everything. Like, that was what ended up kind of making her want to go away, I think. Is she wasn't ready for that in her life. And it got weird after that. I don't recommend it. Like, it's a year later now, and I'm just now starting to get over it. There was a pretty good amount of time there where the only thing that I fucking thought at all ever was, God, I miss Dakota. I was like that for the better part of 7 months, maybe 8 months. See, that's my thing. Is really Church is a fucking thief. He thieves random shit, but he does thieve things. Every year or so, I have to go under my bed and find wherever he sleeps, and there'll be like a little pile of church treasure. It's like hair bands and bracelets and necklaces, and it's stuff he likes, stuff of mine. Yeah, he likes his mom's. He's never taken ammo though. He did have like change in there. Like, I think he's a dragon. If I could like snap my fingers and have Church be a fucking like tiger, I would love that because that cat adores the fuck out of me and pretty much does whatever I ask him to do. I didn't train him at all, really. He just speaks pretty good English, I think. He's a smart little fucker. Cats in general are smart, but I got Church when he was like this big. He was like, he hid up here from the world for a while. He's a cutie. He is in the other room taking a nap, I would guess. Probably best he do that. As soon as I get fucking money in my fucking account to clear, I need to go get him fucking a flea collar or something. I bought the flea drop shit, and that helps, but it doesn't work long enough. Like, I don't know what's up with that shit. I need to take him to a vet. I've never had to deal with fleas. I have an indoor cat. Indoor cat life. I think it's funny is he was an abused, damaged little kitten, and he does stuff like hiding that shit and whatever that reminds me of abused and damaged people. That's some of the shit that, like, talk about religion. Basically, I stopped listening to what the church said when I was like 3 because they told me that my cat didn't get to go to heaven. They are wrong. I can tell you that because of church. Like, what kind of a fucking creature that doesn't have a soul gets emotionally damaged and starts hoarding shiny shit? I don't know. I think that like animals are kind of like baby souls, and like if you put love into them, whenever they die, maybe they become a person or something better than what they are. Maybe they go to a different planet and they're an alien. I don't know. I believe some weird shit. I think it's a lot closer to what is true than most people. I prefer to believe that to magic space bunny heaven or whatever the fuck it is people believe. My mother, when I was a kid, literally told me that heaven was you're sitting in the radiance of God, and how good you are determines how close you are. I judged that shit and found it wanting. I have diatomaceous earth in the garage. I have 7 dust too. I need to go use it. Night prowler, exactly. We did that shit too. We went door to door begging money. We fucking did all kinds of weird social gatherings and shit. Like, I would never raise my kids in the church unless it's the Church of the Rifle. Here with the Raizuli sitting in fucking exile. I need a new computer. The screen on this one sucks. Um, I need to get one that's not a piece of shit, though. I don't think anyone makes a laptop that's not a piece of shit anymore. That's sad. Basically, when I went looking shopping for laptops, the only ones they make now don't have a fucking DVD drive or Blu-ray drive, or if they do, they're some Mac Daddy thing that's even more money or whatever. I want like a basic bitch laptop that is a DVD player and a typewriter and has a hard drive on it to do pictures and shit. Like, you don't make that now? Like, just okay. Like, you wonder why you're going out of business in everything now. Like, why the world is ending? That's some of it. No one can even just buy what they actually want anymore. I guess some people want everything that comes with all of that too. And I would like to have those features. The thing that pisses me off and pissed me off about my lap's computer was it was all cloud computing and shit and connected into the things. And it kept having issues with fucking not being able to do things because of an update. And it did that once to me when it should not have. And now it's in a shallow grave in the backyard. I you know, probably should have wiped that thing and sold it. I was pretty upset. That's one of those things like at that weekend I was upset about a great many things. The computer picked the wrong day. And I think that's one of the things people need to get about this show is like if that's not how you handle your anger or whatever, cool. But like I occasionally sacrifice a computer to Crom. Uh, you know, I consider that to be a much more peaceful thing than some things. It's a good way to get your frustration out. That's like the great thing about blacksmithing is you get to make something by destroying something. And it gives you a convenient hammer and anvil to beat things to death on. If you're gonna fucking hammer shit, get someplace to hammer. That's, I guess, my message here, really. And buy a computer with a DVD drive or Blu-ray, even. Like, I would prefer the Blu-ray because you play anything, but that's money. Like, I have DVDs and a portable DVD players and a computer with a DVD drive because it makes everything cheaper and really high definition, low definition. Like, I'd rather have cheaper shit in lower definition and have it last longer. That's kind of for the end of the world and for my purposes. And part of this is most of my watching of shit is not on my backup. Like I stream everything, and I'm hoping to have Plan A be a Starlink dish and a fucking TV in the back of the van would be bitching. Have like the ultimate camper set up. I kind of figure in the end of the world or whatever, I'm not gonna be here. I'm probably loading the fucking van with everything it'll hold and going wherever. And wherever is not out in the middle of the woods, wherever my family is. You know, I'm probably gonna be living in the van in their front yard. But that I think that van alone would deter a lot of shit, especially with me like actively smoking, probably playing with an M16 at odd hours of the night. I don't know. I think it'll keep people away. That's my plans. Like, a lot of this is we are about to go through some shit, and I have to look a little scary. Exactly, J Watt. If it's not 4K capable, all other stuff is a waste, which is why, like, the thing that I'm getting to do high def is like, um, I just said it's Starlink, and my TV is 4K. And I'll just go to Costco and probably buy a small, cheap one. Like the one I have was 42, 48 inches, somewhere in there, and it was $279 at Costco. It's 4K. So the one smaller than that's even cheaper than that. That's why, like, I could put that in that van and not be worried about it. And the van already has a built-in DVD player too, which is bitching. So that's another reason to go DVD. I think this is why, in a nutshell, the future of everything is collectible vintage DVD box sets. Like some of the stupidest shit I ever did was selling off like my Mel Brooks collection box set. That thing's got to be worth some money now. Because like it takes money to produce some of these things, and some of them I've been buying them. The ones they make now are not as nice as the ones from when I was a kid. There's a notable quality difference. The discs might be better, but like the packaging, there's going to be value in the packaging, I think. And that's crazy to think about, but like people like tangible things. And if everybody's going to be watching DVDs for one reason or another, which I think is pretty much the truth. Because I'm doing that, my uncle's doing that, and my other uncle's doing that. That's everyone I know that really collects movies at all. The format that we pick to go with is DVD. Maybe there's some Blu-ray mixed in, like especially if you're younger. Like this might be an age thing too, because like I at one point was hoorah on Blu-ray and whatever, but it was right at the time I was also getting stuff online, and I have a goddamn. I need to stop smoking and talking. Anyway, I have a bunch of movies on Apple. That's the route I went. And the thing that pisses me off about that now is they're making it to where buy it in 4K. Like I own that movie. It's streaming on the internet. Why is it not just upgraded? I have to buy it again. Yep, exactly, J Watt. This is some of the stuff that like there's gonna be value in the old stuff. Like my MASH DVDs I bought, I had a full set of those from back in the day that I bought box at a time for 45 fucking dollars a set. They were nice. The packaging was nice. The discs were nice. I sold those a few years ago because I never watched them because MASH is on Hulu and I could get good money for them, so I got good money for them. And then when I wanted a set of DVDs for the apocalypse, I was like, I bet I can get MASH cheap. I got that for like 40 bucks. The discs are, they're okay. They'll play, but they are flimsier than they used to be. And the packaging is a joke. Trying to think of other shit along those lines. Oh. Oh. I've been talking too much. I have been making videos and stuff and recording podcasts and whatever, pretty much nonstop, off and on for the last couple days. I probably ought to give my voice a rest. I think I might do that after this because this is the second one I've quit now because my throat hurt. Yo, Jumpy. Uh, Maybe you guys should talk more while I fucking ease my throat. There's multiples of you here now. What do you think about DVDs? Oh, shenanigan. That's why I bought all that shit, basically. It's if all this shit goes out, we're still just gonna be sitting here. Like there's not gonna be much to do. You're probably gonna be bored at some point. So that was a cheap prep for me. Like I spent like $600 or so of my 28,000 bucks I got for my car on portable DVD players, DVDs, and a wallet to put them in and shit. And then I spent more money on the system to power it, but I that was for the fridge. I wanted a system to power the fridge, and I figured anything powerful enough to power the fridge could probably recharge those DVD players. And that's pretty much true. And I'm going to buy a second backup one that's smaller. Yeah, Rush Limbaugh's dead now. I think I never really had that big of an issue even with him. Like I'm pretty fucking conservative. Like I liked Blair White. I still love Blair White. Like she was one of the only fucking voices I ever saw that was what I believe ever because it was trans is cool and I'm conservative. A lot of special edition movies coming out are just rehash material, but now on 4K or in Steelbook. My question is, what happened to special features? Like, I was watching some older DVDs and they just had a crap ton of special features in them. I'm like, you don't see that anymore. I have a pretty large DVD collection. I like the idea just in case the power goes out and you need to bear to run some stuff. I think one of those words is mistyped somehow, but I'm not sure which one. Yeah, it's the logical thing I think to do, and it's the cost-effective thing. I looked at the Blu-ray players for my $600. I would have gotten one Blu-ray player and probably like 3 seasons of something on Blu-ray, decent maybe. Like it would have been way less. Versus with the $600 in DVDs, I got 2 DVD players, a separate DVD drive that's USB that I can plug into something else. I figured that would be handy to have. A DVD wallet. I got all of Star Trek on DVD. I got all of MASH on DVD. I got all of the Beverly Hillbillies that they make on DVD. And then I got bunch of random movies, Indiana Jones, Star Wars, that kind of shit. Like I spent some fucking money on DVDs on eBay and at Vintage Stock. Vintage Stock is a local shop here that's what they kind of do is they buy and sell movies and games and shit. We got a little 12-volt fridge for medication. It uses very little power. 100-watt solar panel keep it going. I got a Set Power fridge. It's the Set Power 45L, I think. It's like a Chinese copy of an Iceco. It was $350 on sale when I got it. And the thing I have to power it is what I'm sitting my drink on. Give me a second. This thing is usually below my computer so that I could turn that on in an outage because that's probably what I'm going to do because it's already set up and it has a DVD thing and whatever. And a lot of other shit. And maybe the internet works and maybe I run a power line to the internet. That kind of thing. But that's a Bluetti EV70S. That was a good chunk of my car too. Like I got it and a 200-watt hard panel from Renogy. And I'm going to put that hard panel on top of my van. And then this thing is going to go in the back of the van with the fridge. And I'm going to get a smaller Bluetti that's only $300 that they just came out with that I couldn't even buy because it didn't exist until like 2 or 3 months ago. It's $299, and that's going to be in the front of the car to power laptops and shit, and it'll be a backup for the fridge, and all that shit's going to be wired in together. I wanted to spend the money on the Bluetti shit because, like, it made sense to me. China Beach, it's like MASH, but set in Vietnam. I haven't seen that. I'll have to watch that. MASH is like one of my all-time favorite shows. You're looking at someone that is the creation of like Hogan's Heroes, MASH, Red Dawn, and a bunch of other goofy shit. Stripes. The solar shit, I need to finish off. I kind of stopped once I had enough shit to power that fridge. That's all you need, and I focused on other shit. Like the second Bluetti unit is like a backup and a nice to have. The smaller Bluetti would be able to run the fridge itself. It wouldn't be able to do much else other than that. That's kind of my thought is if I had the big unit die, my small one that I have to power laptops could just take over. Run it until you get a backup replacement. Some movie of a drama, very good. Okay. I was more of a drama. I see really well. Like, swear to God, I'm looking at a screen from 2013. Part of it. My ear is still fucked up. Getting better though. Um, so Grizzly Adams, I've never even seen the show, Jay Watt, but I've met the man every 6 months for my entire life. I have it in my cart on Amazon on DVD, and ow, I don't know, maybe I don't know where we'll go tonight. There's all sorts of places we could go. I don't have any money at the moment. I'll have money. Basically, someone paid me via fucking Venmo. Venmo takes its sweet ass time to clear, and it'll be Monday. And I don't remember what I was talking about before the late night field trip interrupted that. But I'd love to go to Del Taco. Del Taco is like all the way across town, but it's fun. Del Taco is like, we wanted Del Taco here for like 30 years. I wish they would just put one in over by the fairgrounds. I really can't remember what I was talking about. I lost my thought mid sentence. The Grizzly Adams? Yeah. The Grizzly Adams, I have the DVD on my Amazon cart. I'm going to buy that. It's, I always liked meeting him, and he was cool to talk to. I sold him a couple of guns. Grizzly Adams is always at Wanamaker, was until he died, I believe. I think he's dead now. He was always basically 4 rows west. Yeah, 4 rows west of where I am at Wanamaker, or was. For those of you who saw me there, like my grandfather had tables with a friend of his for years and years and years there, uh, right by the door to get in, basically. And my uncle and I still occasionally have tables there. Usually more he is selling off some of his collection, and I'm going around looking to buy stuff at the gun show and hanging out because I don't like working gun shows. I do like buying stuff at gun shows though. As you might imagine, I get some strange looks now from people that have known me. I look a little different. Like, Grizzly Adams was a cool dude. Grizzly Adams did have a beard. If you know what that's from, you're cool. Chubbs was a bad motherfucker. got that bastard's eye. I always think it's funny that. Let me make sure. Fuck, wrong one. I love IMDb, but its icon looks just like Grinder. I occasionally fucking hit it, and I get all sorts of people mad at me on Grinder because I didn't answer them back. Men are like really, really sensitive. Like, this is one thing that you should know about like the dating world now. If you're the dude, send out a billion messages. It doesn't hurt you. And the chick is getting so many messages that there's a decent chance you're getting lost in the fucking mix somewhere. So just keep sending it and send like if you want me, send increasingly dirty things. Did you hear China is pouring money into South America? But yeah, that's what I was talking about, dude. All of the fucking Venezuelans coming here, those are infiltrators. China is pouring money into South America, Central America, and Mexico in the form of aid to their like cities and civilizations and whatever, and in form of like aid to the cartel against us in the north. Like they want them built up so that they can use them to take us over eventually. Like this is the goal here. This is why they're having the shit on the border. This is why Biden does anything that he does. At least that's my opinion. Like it's pretty clear to me that Biden is in league with China to some extent. And it's also pretty clear that one of the ways they intend to bring down the US is by completely weakening our southern border and having us have this like mixing problem of worlds where you have a whole bunch of poor people coming here to the United States for a new life, and in their midst could be Satan. Like if I wanted to enter the United States to do harm, that's exactly how I would do it. And the way I would do it is not have any tattoos whatsoever, right? Be kind of Hispanic looking, put on some shabby clothes, and just shuffle my way through without shoes and get everything else once I get here. I would pick up arms and equipment and everything from Chinese assets inside the US. Oh, Jumpy, like the world has blue balls. I think part of my problem is I don't really pursue romantic relationships with men that much. And usually when I date men, I'm on Grinder. I just want to have some fun and leave. And sometimes that works out and sometimes it doesn't. Um, I'm not opposed to dating a man long term. It's more or less that that's not my preference. And I haven't ever met a man that I would want to date long term. Till here recently, I've met a couple. Like, talking to a dude online right now that name's Tony. He's cool. I might date him, but he's kind of a weirdo. Oh, Jumpy, 100% China's funding the cartel. All this shit like coming into our cities that's like weird drugs that look like candy. That's shit that they are literally boats from China are going to Mexico. They're offloading it and then it's finding its way here. This is how scary people work. I wouldn't do street drugs now. And if you do, I wouldn't do it unless the other dude fucking did it first. Like, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to be doing something that fucking kills you or permanently breaks you, especially that shit that looks like candy. I don't know anything about pork farming. or why that is has any bearing on the conversation, really. Like, I think our entire agricultural farming system needs to be redone top to bottom because it's like we're pouring chemicals into the ground and fucking shit up. And like some of that is we need to have a certain level of food to keep the planet alive now, and we keep having more people, and you need to do that to do it. But some of it is if we stopped doing that and started actually like using soil ecology and shit and like I don't know, trying to grow better food, I think we would need less food. Most of our problems with feeding people is like idiocracy. It's got what plants crave. That's what we live in. It does not have what plants crave. It's got electrolytes in it. The thing that kills me about that is, from what I heard about it anyway, that I believe, basically modern food grown in these methods with this shit, it's like eating hollow food. You're eating empty calories without any fucking vitamins that you need because all that soil's been leached free of it. And this is in a nutshell why we're having so many health problems is because like some people are eating wrong. Some people are eating what used to be okay to eat but isn't anymore because of the way the crops are going. Like, and this is from someone that used to be quite heavy and lost a bunch of weight. I had to figure out how to fucking like do that. Part of that is eating shit that is actually good for you. Like, I had conies this afternoon, right? That's not good for you, right? Except it's pretty old school and basic, and I wanted a treat out. That's kind of my thing is I try to go old school. I don't know what to trust really anymore. I do a lot of like meat and vegetables. Like last night at Rib Crib, I had some smoked meat. There's a various smoked meats and a salad. They have really good salads at Rib Crib. Had smoked chicken and pulled pork and brisket. It's good. That's like, one of those, it might not be the healthiest thing in the world either to do that, but that was kind of a once in a blue moon treat out thing too. And I didn't even use that much sauce. Oh, yeah. Jumpy, the way China does everything is to the point where if we don't go to war with China, they're going to destroy the planet. We live in the movie Fern Gully, and we're the forest people, and we're going to go kill Satan or whoever the fuck it is that's in China. Sauron is destroying the earth, okay? Like, there's no good people, basically. I don't know who the good people in this are anymore. You seem to have, like, various levels of shit on the American side of things, and then, like, absolute evil in China. And then you have Russia that, like, I get weird readings. Like, it's either absolute evil or they're just pissed and kind of Russians and patriotic. Could go either way, but they're so hard to figure. I don't trust them at all, basically. I trust them slightly more than I would ever trust China. Like China's proven time and time again that basically they're never going to be good. If left to their own devices, they tend to form some sort of an empire that turns super nationalistic and thinks that only Chinese people matter. I can't even tell you how many times they've done that in their history. Like, you want to know why the Mongols fucking did what they did? Go look into that shit. Genghis Khan rode on a fucking Valkyrie or whatever to fucking reap the whirlwind after the Chinese just thought that they could just keep fucking, basically. He was a direct response to their own imperialistic ambitions. Ray Ray's history class. We should probably do that. We talk about like 1700s Navy until you went blue in the face. Like English Navy, American Navy, Revolutionary War, 1812. All, from like 1700 to 1812 naval history wise, I really liked that shit. I got into that because of Star Trek. Because Captain Picard was obsessed with fucking 1800s Navy shit, right? Like that was the birth of that. Was like, what are they talking about? And then you discover pirates. So his DNA is found in a high percentage population of Asia. The Mongolian hordes used to go around from village to village in China, and they would kill all the men, and they'd kill all the male children, and they'd rape all the women, and keep raping them until they got pregnant, and then they would leave. They did that all over the fucking Middle East, Asia. Like, there's some of his DNA in places you would not think. Jumpy, the issue with the portion sizes and shit in America is the way we grow our food in America causes this hollow food problem to where like you're missing a vitamin of some sort and you just keep eating what you were eating before because you're too stupid to know better or you just don't know, and eating more of that thing does not fix your problem. Okay, and that's a lot of America. Like, I think we really need better like high school level education on health science and not like the fucking boring ass fucking class that no one wants to go to. Like you should have Ray fucking teaching seniors in high school about how to eat. This is how you eat and this is how you have safe sex, okay? Now go bye. Bye now. These are called condoms. They're used by sailors. That's why I use them. Yeah, the nutritional aspect is definitely an inbreeding problem as well. Like Monsanto is dooming the world. I think all this is pretty much organized. I think they know what they're doing. I think they're setting us up for a population collapse because they don't want the stupid people around for the future. And I can't really blame them. I think most of the roads that we were headed down are bad. I think some of the roads out of World War III could be better if we don't get nuked. This is in a nutshell why, as soon as Putin invaded, I became a much happier person. I know that's weird. Most people are like the opposite, but like ever since COVID started, I'm like, okay, why isn't anyone doing anything? Like with what had happened, there should have been fallout on the international scale, and it took several years for that fallout to happen. If people were evil, the murder rates will be a lot higher. I don't know what you're talking about. My point is basically your average person is fucking good. A group of people are dumb, stupid, panicky animals that start mimicking each other. And there are people like me in the mix. And some of me are bad, some of me are good. Like, this is what I say when I'm a wizard. I control the mob. I'm the loud fucking voice at the back of the mob saying what everybody's thinking. There's many people like me, and that's the evil. And what our current problem is that some of those people that are on the side of bad have now been elected to office. And that's one of the worst things that you could ever fucking have. And it isn't even like the people that were like me, that's like the person in the street screaming at you. It's the evil puppet master fucking Sauron that you fucking elected to office. And I don't mean Joe Biden. I mean the guy that ran Jimmy Carter, the guy that ran fucking Obama, the guy that ran fucking Biden. Like, these people all work for somebody. It's probably not one individual, it's probably a cabal, be my guess. And I don't really know where they came from other than they're rich Democrats. I think they're rich Democrats that like committing crimes together. You know, you can run on for a long time or whatever, but eventually the Republicans are going to get back in office and all this shit's going to get investigated. Or they keep cheating, and that's why we own guns, to be honest. Like, I don't know how the last election was cheated, not cheated, don't care. With what's going on in the country, if Biden stays in office and isn't replaced by someone not Biden in like the next few years, this country is going to be in a civil war probably. They're just like pouring it down the fucking tubes and jumping corporate America. I think there's like there's several corporate Americas. Okay, there's like the military industrial complex. Then there's like Wall Street, and now there's Silicon Valley. And in this dark horse between fucking Silicon Valley and the military industrial complex, you have DARPA. And who controls DARPA controls the world basically. And I don't know who does that. I don't think anyone does. I think the government sort of does. And my concern would be if elements of that wanted to form their own government, they basically could. Whoever has the best tech now is going to be king of the hill. And whoever's king of the hill is going to establish the new era. That's what's happened with the death of Queen Elizabeth and Trump upsetting the status quo in America at the same time. This is that once every 100 years or so, we get a big war. We get a real war. We get a war that lasts 30, 40 years. That's kind of what I think is going on here. Like, it's going to be a cold war to start with, and it's going to start going hot in places. And the first places it's going to get hot is Taiwan, Israel, and Central America. I don't know exactly where in Central America, but like we've had issues in Venezuela already. That's been like everybody's predicted Venezuela being a war in the 2020s, 2030s since like way back. I agree, Jay Watt. I think the World Economic Forum is its own dark horse, but from out of like elsewhere. It's the leftovers of the Nazis. After World War II, they had all the money. They hid it at places, whatever. Like, I could explain that, but it's unnecessary. That fucking the spooky dude that talks like this, that's in the little glasses. I forget his name. Klaus Schwab. That fucker is like the descendant of fuckers that put people in gas chambers. In my opinion, that fucker should be hunted down. And that's like, you know, I'm sorry if that's against the World Economic Forum. I guess like, my politics aren't that of the fucking World Economic Forum. My politics are basically America first, Oklahoma second, maybe even Oklahoma and Texas first, America second, depending on if we want to break away or not. I really hope that we go with those crazy fucks if they do. It seems like over the last few years we've watched everyone that was kind of a certain opinion move to a certain place. Texas is calling her people. I think I'll always be kind of right where I am. I don't know. So I'll be somewhere in Oklahoma. Although moving to Texas does sound fun. I do like living on the Indian land, though. I need to get my tribal status shit figured out. My family is a part of the fucking courthouse fires that happened in the like 20s, 30s, and 40s. If you were a part of it, there were several courthouse fires across like eastern Oklahoma that any fucking records of who you were are just gone. And there's a hole in our family shit that we couldn't get the Indian shit because of it. That's on my like to-do list in life. I don't really want anything from them. I just think it'd be cool to have the card. My great grandfather uh, was embarrassed about being native, so he purposefully didn't do anything after the courthouse burned down, and that's what made it so difficult. Still makes it so difficult to ever get any of that shit. I'm not saying that like native people should get a bunch of benefits or whatever either. Like, I think we should fucking land back, and you guys should go back to fucking Europe in a way. At least somewhere. Like, I think Oklahoma, or pick a state. Pick a state and make it fucking Indian territory again, which Oklahoma would make sense. There needs to be somewhere that is not inside the federated territories of the United States. You act like everyone here wanted to fucking be here. That's kind of part of my issues. It's like you have come in and taken over an entire continent and promised things to the people that you sent here to take that continent over with, then completely fucked them and the children that they had with those native people that were here in the first place. And you continue to fuck them daily. Thanks. Go watch the Outlaw Josie Wales and listen to The Last of the Cherokee Chiefs. That's basically what I'm saying. It's like, what has the federal government ever fucking done for us ever? Go read about the Trail of Tears. Go read about fucking allotment. Go read about fucking the Indian Wars in general. Go read about California. California used to offer like $5 an ear or something like that. That's really a lot of where my hate for the federal government comes from. Between that and my grandfather. And not liking Democrats because they're lying fucking cowards. In general, if you ever hear a story, you can bet that the Democrat that's telling it isn't 100% on the right side. Like, even look at Matt and I. My version of events versus his version of events. We're both right. We're both wrong. Okay? He's right because I apparently said something that he took personally and offended him or whatever in some way. Don't even know what that is. Don't care. That's part of the issue. The thing from my side of it is I stopped caring what he thought or believed because of the reaction to the fucking Nazi shit. And other shit. It's like both sides are wrong. I think both sides are always fucking wrong. But at the same time, like, the natives in America got a particularly bad hand at fucking things. Like the African Americans in America got a particularly bad hand at things. I don't know what you do about that either. I don't think giving people money is the answer. Like there's a lot of federal land. I think that honestly, you should be able to apply for an application to homestead and some of this shit. Go build fucking communities or whatever. That shouldn't happen everywhere, but like that should be a program. Like if you will move to this place and build a family there and live there for the next 50 years or whatever, you get this 100 acres. Would free up a lot of shit. There's a whole bunch of land that they're like hoarding and not letting anyone buy. And I think that's kind of shit. Like just because no one would want to buy some scrub brush to you or whatever, like I don't know, there's places where you can go do that, but it's not everywhere and it's not where I would want to buy. Literally the land that I would like to fucking go settle on that I know to be free is in places that like you'd have to have some sort of a fucking boat to get there or some sort of a fucking float plane. And my issue is if you just go there and live there, you can do that. Eventually, you'll get a float plane landing on your lake and telling you that you're under arrest because the federal government owns this land. They've made it illegal to do what I do in every fucking sense of everything. Like, I really just want to go out and fucking like carve a life for myself out of the wilderness. Like, that sounds like fun. And I could go buy land. But why would you buy land here when there's literally millions of fucking acres all over the western United States? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. And I'm not saying that we should like urbanize every square inch of it or whatever. I just said like 100 acres per person. Like maybe towns will spring up someplace where somebody's particularly cool. That's the nature of things. We need to expand. It's expand or die now. That's kind of where things are at, really. Like I was talking to Smoke about the area behind my grandfather's house where it's like just you walk 3 feet and you don't know you're in the world anymore. You're in the bush. There's not that many places like that in Oklahoma anymore. In Tulsa, they used to be a much more common thing where you could like we're turning into New York. Like this is the problem that I see basically is that we need to go start new cities. We need our own cities. And maybe that's the thing to do is go up there to that federal land as a group and just start staking out claims. That would be a bold thing to do. You'd have to be armed to the teeth. Go up to like Wyoming or someplace where there's, big tracts of government land and very few people and just start building fucking houses. And my thing is like so you want to have a town. How are you going to do that? You got to start at the bottom, right? You need jobs. So what do you do for jobs? Well, traditionally in America, we make things, factory work, whatever. Like, I could teach anyone to do a step on an assembly line and we could make all sorts of fucking widgets. This is kind of my thing with like most people. Like, you can find other people like that. There's knife makers and blacksmiths and whatever. Make hand spun shit like the Amish. Make it and sell it on the internet. Boom, that's your town's fucking whole revenue. Do 2 or 3 different companies so you're not reliant on just that one thing and make them all to where like everybody in the families, like the heads of the families own these businesses. That's how I would do it anyway. And get a post office and like I would have the post office there, and after everything was built and everything was running, and we had been going for a while, then I would start trying to get the U.S. mail to come there, and I would draw out my fucking borders, and I would put a fucking tin star on, said I was sheriff, and I would have our own constitution, and start saying that we were our own state and have boundaries of the state. Like, this is the literally fuck these people option. Like, I wish I could convince a group of people to go do that. They'd have to be out of their goddamn minds. Like, this is the thing, is nobody wants to go do crazy shit, right? Some things, like, the best things in life are accidents and crazy shit and whatever. I want to go make Pretoria a real place. Thought about calling it Peterland, but that was taken by the gay bar down by the airport. The best part is, once you do this, you start running it like it's like, I don't want you to take this wrong, but you run it like it's North Korea, but in wherever it is in the United States that you do it. You are in full opposition to the United States. You don't let them go there. You don't let them come there. If they start restricting your ability to leave your country and go in and out of it, then like things will be done. But you're your own country. You have your own constitution. You have your own everything. And this is essentially what Putin is doing in the Ukraine right now. He went and took over some land and then gathered up all the people that would vote for him, voted for him, and fucking said they were Russians. Okay? We could do this over most of America and say that, this area now belongs to fucking, the Comanche Nation, the Choctaw Nation, Cherokee Nation, whatever. These are legitimate governments within the United States. We could legitimately start taking over territories and negotiating with them again, like we used to. And pretty much anyone else who wants to fight with us could come fight with us. And like, this is the greatest thing, is that it's fighting by just fucking living. God, I would love to do that. It's one of those things that's like, my issue with these people is that they think they own you. They think they can control you. These are the people that literally go, oh, when you say the word fuck. Literally, fuck you. Like, this didn't used to be a thing. Go back to the 70s and 80s in Oklahoma, 90s in Oklahoma. Like, someone calling you a motherfucker in public, it happened occasionally. You're at some seedy gas station on the north side of town. That doesn't happen anymore because now we live in Dr. fucking Cocktoe's perfect little demolition world. Demolition Man world. Uh, I think it sucks. It's getting worse every day. And the World Economic Forum, dude, is like Dr. Evil or Dr. Cocktoe or whatever you want to fucking call him. I know I jump around a lot about that kind of shit, but like, I don't really know how to talk about that shit and stay on the internet. But this is kind of what this podcast is going to be, is like, I'm going to go try to fucking just be off on my own and be as free as possible as I can with Blazer, hopefully, and encourage y'all to start building communities and shit. Like, you could build wooden chairs like the Amish for all I care, but like, you could do all sorts of shit. You could make cars. How many of you are fucking auto mechanics and shit? You know how a car works. Now imagine that you just have to make every piece of it. Okay? How do you do that? Well, with CAD and milling machines, CNC. Yeah, you could learn how to do this shit. It's not that hard. If you want a good idea, go look at fucking KE Arms and Russell Fagan and how they do shit. Like, It's one of the things that impresses me about them is they have really modern manufacturing. They're setting their shit up to use technology to make their shit cheaper. That's cool. Anyway, I think this has about been enough of this. Um, we only tried to encourage people to go set up towns in Wyoming to oppose the federal government. That's much less crazy than some of the shit that I've suggested in the past. Be hilarious to literally fight corporate America with new small town America. Best part is like wherever you do this, you want legal weed, it's legal now. You want legal machine guns, got those too. Hey, look, you get everything you want. I don't have. I could do it. I don't have StreamYard. I guess does StreamYard work from a yard? I love how you're calling them field trips because now I feel like I'm driving Ray Ray's Magic School Bus. Thanks, man. Good driver. Oh, if only we could trust the drug. Issues for me on here logging into StreamYard on my phone probably could do that. I'll see. I won't be able to answer comments and shit if I'm just like record it as a video and let you guys watch it. We'll see. I'll do something later tonight. I'll see you guys.